Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the eSports Report. It is a beautiful Thursday here in New York City. I'm Chris Puckett, and on today's show, we got a jam-packed show. Of course, we're talking about the new Call of Duty news. Lots of buzz going around. You see it all over the Reddit threads, all over Twitter as well. We'll be talking about what's going down with the MLG COD League, some serious matches being played last night. Optic Gaming continues to impress. We'll be announcing the MVP of last night's games, and of course, talking about the major tournaments going on this week. And we talked with EGL last night about what's going down over in the UK this weekend. That, of course, is EGL 12. But up in Canada, in Niagara, we're going to see another UMG/UGC event. 108 teams attending. We'll get to all that in a moment. But first, let's jump into the business with Call of Duty talk. We got Sledgehammer Games. You can see today's tweet. A new era of Call of Duty arrives May 4th. So Sledgehammer teasing something here. We see some tweets going around. Let me show you the website that if you go to callofduty.com/new era, you can see this countdown timer. 2 days, 17 hours, 56 minutes, and 30 seconds from now, we will have an announcement live on callofduty.com. But what has everyone excited is this video posted on YouTube. Obviously, it came out today, just 301 views. I haven't seen it yet. Wanted to save it for the show. Let's take a look.
We have this assumption of war and who fights it. And our image is a man in uniform. What motivates them? Well, it must be politics. That must be why they want to go to war. And when you look at the 21st century, it just doesn't hold true.
Today, warfare is waged by new entities. They are known as private military corporations. They are loyal to no country, available to the highest bidder. And for the past 20 years, they have been steadily privatizing war.
I started Blackwater as a way to stay connected to the SEAL teams. Blackwater had the right culture, and we ran very hard when our customers called us. More than 100,000 missions. No one under our care ever killed or injured. We took over a remote base one time, and we did it with 25 guys. And we replaced 166 soldiers, and that's why the company grew very quickly.
Initially contracted as support for the armed forces, PMCs are quietly taking over combat as governments, regimes, and companies around the world wield them as deadly tactical weapons. Despite their prominence in the headlines, little is known about this hidden industry. We wanted to know more, so we set out on a global journey to witness their operations firsthand.
To be honest, I left the army because the money wasn't good enough for what I was getting paid to do. Why would I do 5 years in Iraq in the army and earn 120 grand when I can do 2 years in Iraq and earn 400 grand? Certainly in my era, anybody who was any good in the army isn't in the army anymore.
As of March 13th, 2013, private contractors represented 62% of the total forces in Afghanistan, setting a chilling new precedent in the nature of military occupation.
It amazes me how many people there are out there who are willing to get involved in this kind of thing. I can make a dozen phone calls, and within a month, we'll have 1,000 guys.
In the 10 years after 9/11, the US government has spent more than $3.3 trillion in private defense contracts. And all that money doesn't just buy the world's best soldiers. It buys access to the world's most advanced weapons. Feeding off of global instability, PMCs have thrived. In fact, the third largest company in the world is a private military corporation, and most people have never heard of them. The day of the private military has arrived. The only question that remains is what happens when the people you pay to protect you get a better offer.
One big concern is a question of allegiance. Who exactly are they working for?
We've seen them work for human rights groups, environmental groups, drug cartels, terrorist groups. They cover the entire moral spectrum. Some people argue that they're already well regulated. That's just false.
Which leads you to wonder, with advanced weaponry, highly trained soldiers, billions of dollars at their disposal, and few regulations, what happens if they stop taking orders and start taking over?
A new era is coming. Wow, Call of Duty doing it again. Their trailers. Has there ever been a bad Call of Duty trailer? This one's getting me pumped up. And of course, guys, we saw a new image from the new Call of Duty, apparently being released by Game Informer. Here it is on my laptop. We got some people talking where they're saying maybe the new game's going to be like World War I. Well, obviously, this does not look like WW1 to me. Futuristic weapons being talked about in the video. What direction is Sledgehammer going to go with the new Call of Duty? I, for one, am excited. Guys, send me your tweets. What do you think is going to happen in the new Call of Duty? You can hit me up at MLG Puckett. I am on Twitter way too often. All right, so Call of Duty, new game coming up, but we're still playing Call of Duty Ghost at least through June. Let's take a look at what is coming up in June. We just announced it this Monday. Still some of the best news I've ever announced in my 10 years here at MLG. MLG and ESPN are teaming up once again, this time for the X Games in Austin, held June 6th through the 8th. It's the first ever esports event at the X Games. Of course, X Games Extreme Sports, now involving video games. I think this is a huge step for professional gamers everywhere. We have 8 professional Call of Duty teams attending the event. Complexity, Optic Gaming, and Envy all finished top 3 at the COD Championships. They earned a direct invite to the competition. However, 5 more teams will come out of the Pro Points leaderboards. Rosters have to be submitted next Friday before the 5K. And of course, you know, everyone's going to be fighting at UMG this weekend for the 10,000 first place Pro Point prize. Players will earn medals for the first time playing video games at an X Games event. Gold, bronze, and silver will be handed out live. Now, I am so pumped for this X Games event. Fwiz and I will be doing the casting. Have not announced any other casters, but let me know, who do you want to see casting live from Austin, Texas? Once again, hit me up on Twitter with that one. But X Games, if you're not playing there, guys, don't worry. You can still watch it live here on MLG.tv or in person. For just $89, that's less than $30 a day. You can go to the X Games live in Austin, and for $189, you can get the MLG Premium Upgrade, priority seats, entry, as well as MLG swag. To get all the gear, ticketmaster.com/xgames. Pretty simple stuff. Go get your passes right now. June 6th will be here sooner than you can believe it. All right, so June 6th, a few months away. We are now the first day, I guess 1 month away. This is day 1 of May, my birthday week coming up next week. Super excited for springtime, but I'm also excited about the first event in May. That is going to be UGC Niagara, and here to talk about the event, we have Jeff Covington from UMG. Jeff, how you doing, my friend? Are you up in Canada already?
I am in country, Chris.
How is it up there? You drinking maple syrup and?
I'm not drinking maple syrup.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right.
It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. It's beautiful.
So what did they say to you guys when you drove across the border with a billion monitors, Xboxes, and all the controllers in the world?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. We went through all the proper procedures and paperwork and the loadouts like twice in St. Louis and then once again at the MLG warehouse in Columbus, Ohio, and everything. I mean, we just put so much work into this and the fees and permits, and I could have brought anything across the border. They were just like, how long are you in country for, eh? And I was like, till Monday. And, okay, you have a good time. You just go up to that office. And that was it. And I just come across the border.
Everyone should marry a Canadian. They sound like such
so
nice
friendly.
people.
Everybody is so friendly up here.
I love it. Well, Jeff, I'm so bummed that I will not be joining you guys up in Canada. However, I will be watching all 3 days with my feet up at home. So looking forward to the event. Now, a lot of people are confused. It's UGC Niagara with a lot of the UMG guys working behind the scenes. How did this collaboration come about?
Okay, what this event is, the UGC stands for the Ultimate Gaming Championship up here on the Canadian side, and it's basically been put on for the last few years by the Niagara School District. They do a lot of the funding for it and support, and they had reached out to us because they wanted to step the game up and get a little more exposure to it and get some of the pro teams up here, and that's just what we're doing.
That's freaking awesome. So kind of locally supported, the school districts reaching out to throw a huge gaming event, and this one is enormous. You guys had 108 teams sign up in just 5 minutes upon announcement. A lot of these teams will be fighting through the open bracket, but talk to me a little bit about the tournament format that we're going to see. It's slightly different than what you had at UMG Philly.
Yeah, in UMG Philly, we only were able to allow 4 teams to come out of the open bracket. But what we've done for this event and probably all future events is we've adopted more of that MLG bracket style system where I believe 12 teams will be coming out of the open bracket to play in the champs bracket.
Awesome. Well, we're taking a look at the site right now, and, it's always great to see more squads coming through that AM bracket because this one going to be absolutely stacked. You got teams like VVV who are going to be gunning for a top 8 spot. I saw Realize and the boys tweeting all day long. Some serious prize money, $20,000 prize pool as well, $10K going to first place. On top of that, the pro points, which could seed these guys for X Games. So, Jeff, I know a lot of people are excited up there. Who are some of the major squads you're looking forward to watching the most?
When does Optic play? We're going to see that a lot. Obviously, Optic Gaming and Optic Nation. I mean, Hector's sending 2 solid squads up. And like you said, Optic Gaming has been tearing it up in the COD League. Of course, there's a TK complexity battle that kind of goes on at the last few UMGs. I'm going to make a prediction, and I don't typically do this. Everybody knows that the UMG house is an Envy house, a TK house, because of the UMG boys, my 9-year-olds. But I'm gonna say that complexity does not win this event.
You're saying Cole doesn't win it?
No.
I like it. Well, Ron actually just brought up a schedule here. It looks like 5 o'clock the bracket play is going to start. I assume that's when the stream's going to kick off tomorrow.
Yes.
And then Saturday, you guys are starting bright and early. We see the Call of Duty bracket, but also a little NHL action happening. I know Call of Duty will be broadcast, but NHL just on site. And then what's the game plan for Sunday? 10 a.m. once again?
I believe it will be 10 a.m. once again for Sunday, and hopefully we've kind of broke the mold of the old UMG fashion of gaming till 2 in the morning. So I think we got that under control, and we'd like to be wrapped up by about 8 or 9 o'clock.
I like it. Ron, go ahead and scroll all the way down here. I want to showcase some of these sponsors because this is something I saw on the poster. You guys are bringing in everyone now. You got Elgato, BenQ, IBM, Scuff Gaming, Brock, Honey Badger Pro Kits, DX Racer, and, of course, Console Kings and Squid Grip. So, Jeff, really impressive to see what you guys are putting together over there. It sounds like an incredible tournament. Optic Gaming or Optic Nation, who places higher this event?
Oh, gosh. Let's flip a coin. Okay?
Let's flip a coin.
I'm gonna say Optic Gaming finishes higher this event.
Okay, I think that is a safe bet. They're looking really strong with Proofy here. Now, final thoughts here. I believe this is the first European player attending UMG with Madcat being flown in for TK.
I know, that's pretty crazy. It's not the first year. We've had Orbits. We've had European teams come over.
I noobed it. Sorry, they didn't get far enough. Orbit, it's your fault. I forgot about you.
No, they did well. But I mean, I think this is the first time that a major professional U.S. gaming team has. I want to say brought in somebody from the EU to play for him. I think so.
Probably the best player in Europe, even though he's officially retired or whatever he says he's doing. Madcat, definitely a force to be reckoned with. You saw him at Call of Duty Championship despite the poor performance by TCM in the bracket. Madcat was just ripping everyone up. I hope TK finishes in the top 3 once again. We saw him on the main stage in the grand finals of Philly. I hope to see them back there. If Madcat could win a championship in Canada, I think that would be absolutely incredible. Jeff, any final thoughts here before you get the event kicked off? I know you got to get back in the venue and finish setting up.
I'm going to say this, that any team that finds itself facing off against Complexity in the grand finals, if they win, I am going to have that team's logo tattooed on my body somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so if you just face off against them or if you beat Complexity? Okay.
You got to beat them.
If you beat Complexity,
I will put them on the sleeve.
that is incredible. Jeff, I, for one, will make sure that you stand true to that statement. You heard it live, guys. Jeff Covington will get a tattoo of any team that beats Complexity in a grand final at a UMG, at least this one, Niagara. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on. Best of luck this week. And, of course, guys, you can watch all of that action live right here on MLG.tv. Check it out. We're starting things off at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And because the tournament starts at 5 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be moving the ESR an hour early. We're going live 3 to 5 with a bracket show. We'll go over all of the teams attending, where they sit in that championship bracket, and who we expect to come out with the gold. So UGC is going down this weekend, but the MLG COD League has been continuing strong. Day 10 was last night. I'll give you all the updates of what went down and what you may have missed from Optic Gaming after this.